Hey, welcome back. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you are new here, I do appreciate you giving this a chance. I hope you enjoy the content. If you are enjoying it, please don't forget to hit the like button. Smash that subscribe button as well. It really does help out a lot. I appreciate it. But let's dive in. I heard something interesting from Shannon Sharpe that on the surface it sounds great, but as I started thinking about it, I just thought it's so odd. We've twisted things around so much with what's going on in the WNBA, specifically with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, that we're just losing our minds. So let's talk about it. Shannon Sharpe's spirited sermon about Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark haters, says it all. Okay, so women's college basketball fans' allegiances have been divided between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese ever since Reese taunted Clark during the 2023 NCAA championship game. Okay. Many fans seem to believe that if they like one of these two players, it must mean that they can't like the other. I don't know any fans who think that. The writer here must be talking to other fans. I don't know anyone like that. But Reese and Clark playing together during the 2024 WNBA All Star game serves as proof that if the two can get along, then fans should be able to root for both of them. I, that's a weird disconnect to me. I don't see how one has to do with the other. First of all, it doesn't really serve as proof of anything. They were on the same All Star game and they went out and did their job as teammates and played together. And I don't think there's any rational human being who thought before that they couldn't root for both of them and now they think they can. That's just really odd to me. And for those of you who played team sports for any decent amount of time can attest to the fact that not all teammates get along. And yet they can still go out and play very well together, but they don't necessarily get along. But so I just thought that was kind of weird too. So we're getting to this weird vibe. Well, I'll get into it when we get into Shannon's stuff. So Shannon was talking on his nightcap podcast, I think is what it is, with Chad Ochocinco. And he started talking about the two players. And he said, what has transpired is that if you like the one, they want you to hate the other. Sharpe said about Reese and Clark fans. Again, I don't know who they are. I have not had. Now, there are fans that definitely like the one and do not like the other. But I don't know of any fans that are saying to other people that you have to choose. If you like this player, you cannot like this player. Anyway, Shannon says, I refuse to do that. I believe I can like Caitlin Clark and her game and still love Angel Reese and her game. Aha! I have exposed you, Shannon Sharpe, under your supposedly level headed words. I see what you've done here. You can like Caitlin Clark, but you love Angel Reese. What's that about, Shannon? Why is it not equal? I thought this was about rooting for both of them, and yet here you are still setting levels. Shame on you. I don't have to choose. You just did choose. You only like Caitlin Clark, but you love Angel Reese. By the way, it's weird to love Angel Reese's game and not love Caitlin Clark's game. One of the things, anyway, I'll say one of the differences that people point out is Angel Reese's game is not a fun game to watch. And that's nothing against Angel Reese's skill set. I would say that's been basically the whole WNBA for its entire existence. That's why people don't watch it. It's not fun and entertaining to watch. Okay. So, anyway, he says, I don't have to choose. And it seems like they want you to choose. Well, if you like Caitlin Clark, you're supposed to hate Angel. And if you like Angel, you're supposed to hate Caitlin. Why? Much respect to Sharp for dropping this truth bomb about the two WNBA rookie icons. So, before I explain why I think this is an odd take, because I know on the surface it sounds, great, let's all get along type stuff. But I'll explain why I think it's a little odd. So let's dig into what he says first.
Angel Reese has an elite skill set.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball is like a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna get it. She attract it
every time.
She's gonna get the basketball. I don't know. I mean, and there's Breanna Stewart right there. There's it's Asia Wilson there. She's gonna get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark has an elite skill set of passing the basketball.
Yes, sir.
She has an elite skill set. I don't care what you think.
She can see things that other people can't on the court.
It's elite. And I said both of the women would be successful for the one skill set that is elite.
Okay. Couple things here, though, before we even get into the next part. First of all, shout out to Chad. I thought that was really great insight that he added to what Shannon was saying that Shannon wasn't going to get to, was that talk about Caitlin sees it before it happens. And that, and of course, she also has the skill level to execute from what she sees. But that ability to see it before it happens, that ability to be one or two steps ahead of what is going on the court, that's not even elite. That sets you apart from the elite, because the elite have that elite skill set, but that's something else entirely, and that is what is so huge about her game, is her ability to see it before it happens. Now, also, I got to say, I know some of you will get on me, but I have to take exception with what Shannon said about Angel Reese having an elite skill set and Caitlin Clark having an elite skill set, and saying that Caitlin Clark's elite skill set is passing. That is ridiculous to say that that's her one elite skill set. She is an elite shooter. She is just elite in general. I mean, we've talked about it before. She can get her own shot. She can beat you off the dribble. She sees things before it happens, both in making a pass, but in everything else too. She has an all-around game. She is not limited to the skill set of passing. A lot of the rest of her game is elite as well. Her ability to see, her basketball IQ is elite. And that is a crucial skill set. Her ability to see things before it happened, elite. Her shooting is elite. There's a lot going on there. But anyway, we'll continue with this.
Mm-hmm. One can pass the ball, the other can rebound the ball.
Oh.
But what has transpired is that if you like one, they want you to hate the other.
No.
I refuse to do that. I believe I can like Caitlin Clark in her game and still love Angel Reese in her game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I can love Angel Reese in her game, all the while loving Caitlin Clark in what she possessed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they want you to choose. Well, if you like Caitlin Clark, you're supposed to hate Angel. Mm-hmm. And if you like Angel, you're supposed to hate Caitlin. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. No, you don't have to. And that's the thing. I really don't know anyone saying that. And you don't have to hate one and not the other. Sure, you can like both, but you've really kind of took sports as a fan experience and completely turned it upside down. That's what's so fascinating to me. It's like we're going to go, because of all the issues and the rivalry that's been made between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, now we're going to go the other way and make it kumbaya and let's all get along. And that's absurd. And here's why it's absurd. Any of you out there who are diehard fans of teams will know exactly what I'm talking about. As a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan, I will never like or root for a Dallas Cowboy player. Dak Prescott sucks. Emmitt Smith sucked. Michael Irvin sucked. By the way, I like Michael as an announcer, but as a Dallas Cowboy, there was no way I was ever. Now look, obviously those guys didn't. I mean, well, Emmett and Michael were Hall of Famers, and agree, but you know what I mean as a fan. Especially if I have a conversation with a Cowboys fan, we are going to quote unquote hate on each other's players because that's part of being a sports fan. That is part of the deal. And that's part of the fun when you don't have people that get crazy and then have to make it about a whole bunch of other stuff and, race and gender and everything else that does not need to be part of the discussion. And that's my point. We as fans used to be able to have that discussion. We used to be able to have the players that we love and the teams that we love and the ones that we quote unquote hated but didn't really hate. It's just, look, Saquon Barkley just signed with the Philadelphia Eagles in the offseason as a free agent, have been with the Giants his whole career. Do you think I liked Barkley when he was playing for the Giants as an Eagles fan? Are you kidding me? And oddly enough, I'm a Penn State football fan. So I loved Barkley then. Then he went to the Giants and it was a big FU to Saquon. And now I'm going to root for him again. Okay, so this idea that, oh well, now we have to make it so we want you to like both, appreciate both. Why? Part of sports is not just who you cheer for, it's who you root against. That's just part of the fun. Why are you taking away the fun? I'll give you an example. I remember my dad, diehard Philly fan, all the sports. And I remember one time telling me that he liked Larry Bird. And I did not like that at all. And I told him, I said, no, no, no. You are a diehard Philadelphia 76ers fan. You cannot like Larry Bird in any way, shape, or form because he's a hated Boston Celtic. And if you think back to it, those were two of the best teams of basketball in the 80s. And you had Doc on the Sixers, Julius Erving, and Bird on the Celtics. And look, one of those teams could have had a lot more NBA titles if the other didn't exist because they always had to eliminate each other before going to play the Los Angeles Lakers, who were the only team in the West at time that was worth anything. But I mean, Irving and mild-mannered Dr. J, he and Bird got into a fight on the court one time. It's still a rivalry, but that time frame, that in the decade of the 80s, looking back, that was one of the biggest rivalries in sports. One of the biggest, and I was like, no, 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 Dad, no, you could not do that. So, and that's why I think this whole thing's a little bizarro because they're on different teams. Yeah, you can like them both if you want, but you also can very much not because you're a sports fan. And by the way, they're what? A half game apart, or even just percentage points apart in the standings? You can't be a Caitlin Clark fan and root for Angel Reese because if you're rooting for Angel Reese, you're rooting for the Chicago Sky. If you're rooting for the Chicago Sky, you're rooting against the Indiana Fever, which means you're rooting against Caitlin Clark. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope there are some real sports fans listening to this saying, yeah, that is crazy. Why would we like them both? Now, look, if Angel Reese gets traded to the Indiana Fever and her and Caitlin Clark become a great dynamic duo of teammates out on the court, guess what? Angel Reese fans are going to root for Caitlin Clark, even if they don't want to. And Caitlin Clark fans are going to root for Angel Reese, even if they don't really want to, because they're on the same team. And it doesn't mean you can't appreciate other players on different teams or not, but everybody has their team that they root for. And so you're not rooting for other teams. You may have a team, if you're an Eastern Conference person, you may have a team out west. Yeah, you like that team. You enjoy that team. Not when they play your team. There's also that. But especially rivalries. And we know the Sky and the Fever have a rivalry. Never in a million years will I, as a Phillies fan, be rooting for the Braves or any player on the Braves or the Mets? As a Sixers fan, never will I root for the Celtics. Now, you want to trade Jason Tatum to the Sixers, and I'll go from hating Jason Tatum as a basketball player to being a huge fan because that is how it works. Oh, man. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I appreciate you checking out this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.